Good evening, everybody. Welcome to CraftStash Live. I have got two brand new collections for you this evening, and I've got a special guest demonstrating them as well, who you may well know from the craft industry, but probably haven't seen for a little while because she's been hiding behind the scenes. She has stepped in to help the lovely Olga Direktorenko, of course, demonstrate this while Olga's doing things that you may have heard about in the news, but just to let you know, she's all perfectly safe at the moment and she's keeping in contact with us, which is brilliant. So two new collections today, and there is a free gift when you spend over £20 on each collection. Now, the first one we're going to look at is Tulips from Amsterdam. Absolutely stunning collection. Now, with this one, you're going to get a free A5 paper pad when you spend over £20. And then we're going to be looking at the second one, which is Play On, which is a music themed collection. I love this, absolutely love this guitar and this violin. They're big. These are card shapes here. When you spend over £20 on this collection, you're going to get a free stamp set from the collection as well. All the details can be found on craftstash.co.uk. But first of all, let's go over and have a chat with our lovely Katie Skilton. Good evening, Katie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. So you've been playing with the brand new Paper Discovery, two beautiful collections. Can you tell us a little bit about, let's go with first of all the Tulips from Amsterdam. What are we looking at with this one?
Yeah, so this is a really pretty collection. It's something that's a little bit different really. So it's typically what it says, the Tulips from Amsterdam. So you've got these beautiful dies, stamps, papers, but they're all based around windmills and tulips and anything you expect to see in Amsterdam, really.
Lovely. I'd love a holiday at the minute. It's making me want to just jump on a boat. I know, it'd be lovely. Do you have, I'm going to go through all of the product with everybody in a minute so they can see exactly what they're getting, but could you just show us what you've made with it?
Yeah, so let's have a little look at them. So this is starting with the big A5 die set.
Beautiful.
So this is the large windmill then, you get kind of the oval, so you can cut the oval into your card, you can create a separate oval, and you've got this lovely large windmill. I've got a couple of those, so let me just grab the other one. So there's another one in a different colourway.
Oh, that's lovely. Did that take long to piece together?
No. So obviously the more colour you add to it, because you can cut into the dies and you can start kind of adding all the colour to your grass bits and things. Yeah. Obviously the more you add to that, the longer it takes. But you can do it as a silhouette and it obviously makes it much faster. So there's actually, let's show you this one. There's one with the colour added.
Ah,
so
gorgeous.
You can see here it's all been trimmed into. So obviously that takes a little time to cut into it. But if you were just cutting the windmill and creating your silhouette, you've got a lovely card there.
Easy, lovely.
And obviously the oval does everything for you as well. It gives you that background. So then we've got the icon die set. So this has got lots of different dies in it. It's got your windmills, your buildings, your bicycle. So there's, and these are all, this is the papers as well.
Oh yes, the papers, they are stunning, aren't they?
Those lovely blue and white papers. So all of them have got that blue and white design on them.
Gorgeous.
And they just kind of, they just make it all pop. It makes it so easy.
I love that card in particular, I think, because it's modern, it's contemporary, it's fresh. It's quite different to the other cards that we've seen.
Absolutely. Those buildings, you could use those for all sorts, couldn't you? So you could use those for like new home cards as opposed to, you know, Amsterdam. Yeah, just to see definitely. What else we've got here. So then we've got some from the stamp set.
Oh, do you know, that looks absolutely stunning. Is that one stamp?
So that's one stamp. This big ship is one stamp.
Wow.
And in that set, you also get the windmill scene.
Oh, I love that with the fields, because I suppose you could pick out the tulips there and make them different colours.
Obviously, you could add colour to that. But you know what? They're so detailed and so pretty that if you're not into colouring, you can actually just use them as blank images because they kind of speak for themselves.
They look stunning as they are, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, actually, there's another couple here from the icon set. So there's the cows.
Oh, I love that. I really, that's like so different. Absolutely gorgeous. I love a cow.
Those cows were really sweet. I thought they deserved a card on their own. There's another one there with the windmill, just a little aperture. And this is using the sentiments as well. All of these have used the sentiments from the sentiment stamp set.
Yes, we'll go through those in a moment. There's some really lovely sentiments
They are so fun. They really kind of finish off your cards because they've got some great themes. And then this is using the die and the stamp set, the coordination die and stamp set, so you can stamp all your images.
Lovely.
but the die's cut around them.
Oh, it just makes it so much easier, doesn't it?
Do love an outline die.
Do love an outline die.
And then finally, this is one from the sentiment subsets, but just use the illustrations instead of the sentiments. I've used all the illustrations off it.
Of course, you don't always have to cut them out, do you? You can just use them straight on the background.
Yeah.
Lovely, beautiful. Oh, thank you so much for showing us all of those. What we're going to do now is actually go straight to your video demonstration that you've done for us.
Yeah.
And see, I believe there's the 2 cards in this demo,
yeah, there's 2 cards in that one.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for putting this together. And we'll come back and we will talk about the next collection after this.
So let's take a look at the Tulips from Amsterdam collection. This is a beautiful collection and it's basically what it says. So it's tulips and windmills and everything you'd expect to see in Holland and Amsterdam. You've got your bicycles, your beautiful buildings, you've got fun stamp sets with really good sentiments on. You've got beautiful dies. So I'm going to kind of mix match. So I'm going to start today by creating this card. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this lovely stamp set, this windmill stamp set that we've got here, and we're just going to add some ink to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use 2 tones of blue on this set. So it doesn't matter where you place the various blues, it hasn't got to be in any particular order, it just gives it that lovely 2-tone effect. Just make sure all that's covered and then we'll pop this down. So I've just got a little bit of my windmill sail missing there that I've not stamped properly, so we'll just pop that bit in. It's really difficult to see what you're covering when you're not, but a stamp platform makes that so much easier because you can just go back and pop in the bits that you've missed. Lovely. So we'll move that one off and then we're going to take our sentiment stamp. So we're going to use the There's No Place Like Home stamp set. So we'll pop that one down and we're just going to add some ink to that. So I'm going to use a black ink this time. So I'm just going to use my black VersaFine. Pop that one down. There we go. So now we've got our image stamped. So if we move this stamp platform out of the way. So what I've done, and I've actually just pre-trimmed them. So this is a 6x4 piece of cardstock basically, and you need to trim it down to 3x2 so that you end up with 4 pieces like so. Let's make sure they're in the right order so I don't confuse things. So we're going to end up with our image. Oh, it's like a jigsaw. Our image that we're going to use. So I'll pop that one out of the way. We'll move that one. So I'm just going to take a piece of dark blue cardstock. I'm going to use some 3D foam tape on this. So I'm going to pop some 3D foam tape on the back parts of each of these panels. Let's just pop that on each panel. It gives some lovely dimension to the card. It makes such a difference when you get that dimension on a card from using the 3D tape. Down. So pop one on each one of them. Last one. There we go. So we want to position these now. So I'm just going to have a look first of all, see exactly where I want them to go so it's nice and even on the cardstock. Got a nice even border between each piece. There we go. Pop the back off this. Pop that piece down. So basically we'll follow that piece now and that'll position all the others in a nice straight line. It just gives something different, a bit different to use your image. we go. So we've got that piece there. So what I've done, I've taken a card blank already, and I've just matte and layered some dark blue and then these beautiful tulip papers that come in the A5 paper pack. And what we're going to do, we're going to pop that bit on top. I'm just going to use some twine to just add a bit more decoration. So I'll pop some twine kind of going around here. So I'm sticking with this blue theme. Just like that. I think the stamps and the illustrations, dear me, it's alive. The stamps and the illustrations are so pretty that actually just 2 tones make it look a really classy card. So we'll just tie the twine and I'll seal it down with some tape in a second. So we're going to use some 3D foam tape anyway, so it'll be popping off the page. There we go. Just untwist that. We'll pop that down. So we'll get some 3D foam tape again. I'm just adding lots of layers to this card really. So the image is so pretty, it kind of speaks to itself, so you don't want to do too much to it, so that it really pops off. There we go, and we'll pop that down in the centre there. And then I'm just going to take my twine, I'm going to make a little bow, my leftover twine. Make sure it's nice and even. Trim the tails on that. And just use my hot glue gun to stick that down. So nice, quick, simple card. As I say, you could make quite a few of those, couldn't you, quite quickly? If you wanted to, you could do all sorts of different tones with them, but I just think it works lovely with those blue and white papers. So that's our first card. Let me just clear up the devastation a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create this card here. So we're going to die cut the windmill. So we're using several different tones for that. So we've got our blue cardstock here, and we're just going to die cut the windmill. So let me just grab my machine. We'll die cut it again from these blues. So this part here, I only want to use it for the roof, so I don't particularly need to die cut the whole die. So do all the die cutting and then we can trim into it afterwards. And the blue part we want for our sails. Finally, we want the actual building of the windmill, so that's going to be in the lighter blue. Let's pop that bit down here. So I've just cut all the pieces out and then we can have a look at it, see what we're going to do with it. So then I just want to cut some tulips, so I'm just going to take some green card here. We're going to cut all 3 of the tulips with the green. Then we're going to layer those together to give the heads of the tulips different colour. That's not good, is it? Just bear with me while I just grab my dies. Sorry, they've fallen in the most awkward place possible, yeah. Right. That's what happens when you're working in quite a small workspace. So I'm going to now die cut the tulips again. So I only want the actual heads of the tulips this time. I'm just going to grab some purple here as well. So I've just die cut 2 of them from purple and 1 of them from blue. So I'm not using many colours for this card either, you'll notice, because those blue papers kind of speak for themselves without me needing to add too much colour. Right, we now have all the bits and pieces we need. So let's move this out of the way and it gives us some more room. Let's get rid of all the little bits we don't need. So our windmill, we'll pop out all the little pieces. Do you know what I've done? I've left all the bits in. Just now when I die cut it, I left all the bits in. I know it's not die cut too well, so bear with me. I'm just going to die cut another one of those a second. Let me just do the sails again. I'm going to pop that in the middle because I'm going to use that bit for layering in a second. There we go, that's much better. So I'd left the die cut from the light blue in there, and obviously then it hadn't cut through the darker blue. There we go. Pop out all those bits. I'm going to layer this onto a lighter colour actually so that you can see the lighter colour through. Let me get rid of all of those. So I've got a strip of just light grey card here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue those behind the sails of the windmill. A little bit of glue. Pop that onto the sail and then we're going to trim. It's quite simple to do because you're only going to trim off the edge bit there. We'll go around and tidy it up in a second. Just stick all the pieces down first. Just position it on the edge. We know we've only got to cut one edge then. Go around and do that to all the sails. So cute, this little windmill. Oh, one more to do. There we go. So that's that part. So now I'm going to take this windmill that we cut just now, I'm going to pop it back into my die. So position it so that it's back in the right place. And pop that down onto the mat. So I'm going to take some of my blue ink and get one of the small ink daubers. And we're just going to go over so we can add that brickwork to the bottom of the windmill. Just remember to clean your die afterwards because when you go to die cut it next time, it's covered in blue ink. So that's out of the brickwork. So then we've cut the roof from this lighter blue card. And pop that on. We'll pop on our sails. Our windmill's ready to go. So I'll pop that to the side for a second. And then we've got our tulips. So the tulips we've cut from 2 different colours. I'm just going to snip off the heads of these. And we're going to stick them to the green stems. So obviously this is a really good way of just using up all those little bits of leftover card as well. Let's take our stems, don't need that bit. Stick those down. So last one, let's do the blue one this time. So these are all the bits that we need here. All of these bits can go. So then I've got a white panel. What I've done, I've cut 2 4.5 by 4.5 inch panels. So on this one here is going to sit behind this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take some of my distress inks. I'm just going to add some colour behind. So I'm just going to start by adding that yellowy colour. You don't need to cover the whole of the card, just where that circle is going to go. Just blend in some of the orange there. So what we're going to do, we're going to see where this is going to sit now. So basically it's going to sit like that. So I want my sentiment to go in there as well. I'm just going to grab my stamping platform. Have a look. Now we can see where we want to position the sentiments. The sentiment's going to go there. There we go. So we're going to take our foam tape. Try not to touch the mat too much because it's quite inky. Just put some foam tape on each section of this panel. So again, it's just giving dimension to your cards really. It's adding different layers and different dimensions, which just draws the eye into where the design is. So pop that down now over the top. It's gone a bit wonky actually, hasn't it? I think I'm just going to leave it as is. So we are going to layer this onto this blue cardstock. So you see just now that's where I cut the windmill out of, but actually we're going to cover that. Pop that down there. So what we want to do, we want to add our windmill onto this. So we're going to pop our windmill kind of here. So this one's going to be coming off the edge slightly more than the other one I did. So that's fine. And then we're going to take our tulips, and you might need to trim these down a little bit because we're going to position these coming out from the base. Stick these down. last one, so I'll add in the blue one. So I'm trying to trim it so I keep a little bit of the leaf because it just adds that interest, I think. Up there. So basically that's the panel that we've created, and then we're going to use some of the tulip papers again. I'm just going to layer that onto some purple colour. Layer that onto the card. There we go. And then this panel, we'll pop there, pop it down with 3D pen. Now, you don't need to see me stick on the sequins. I'll pop this one in. You can see I've just embellished this one, so I've just popped some sequins onto this one. I did use a little bit of twine as well, just to add some textures. But that's 2 cards that we've made relatively quickly. So this is all using those beautiful tulips from Amsterdam collection.
So there were 2 absolutely stunning cards from Katie using the tulips from Amsterdam collection. Now with this one, I don't have the paper pack, unfortunately, and it is the paper pack that you're going to be getting for free when you spend over £20. Now let's take a quick look at those items. Katie's already shown us through what she's made with them, so you've probably got a rough idea. This is the Tulips from Amsterdam windmill layering die set, and you saw those gorgeous examples that Katie made with them, so you could use it as a silhouette or you can really go in and colour all the elements. Then you've got the stamp and the die set. So as you saw, Katie used, she certainly used those flowers with the banners around. She used the individual tulips as well. Just pulling this band down for you so you can see some of those gorgeous images. And then you also have the outline dies. It just saves all that cutting. They come together in a combo as such. And you can see on the back there as well the blues and the whites of those beautiful papers, and that's that freebie pack that you'll be getting when you spend over £20. Now Katie talked about these a lot. She loved these, the sentiment stamps as well. You've got the townhouses, you've got the barn, you've got the windmill, the florals, the tulips there, and of course the push bike, the bicycle. Have a wonderful birthday. Tulips from Amsterdam, sail away to a wonderful birthday. Find joy in every new day. There's no place like home. Tilting at windmills. Life is a beautiful ride. Home sweet home. Dream, create, inspire. Do you know what? There's so much in here. Absolutely beautiful. Clear stamps and the perfect size, I think, sentiments as well. Then we've also got Tulips from Amsterdam here. This one is 2 large stamps. You can see you've got the boat there, and then you've also got the windmills, that gorgeous scene with the flowers. Do you know what? I've forgotten to mention the giveaway. There is going to be a giveaway for one of you. Get commenting, everybody, really, really quickly. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. But this giveaway is a collection of Olga's new products coming out to one of you, and what we'll do is we'll give it until tomorrow, we'll give it until Thursday, we'll pick a winner from the comments because not everybody will be watching live. So just simply comment which of the 2 collections you think you prefer, Tulips from Amsterdam or Play On. Let us know and let us know why, and then we'll pick a winner and we will contact you. That's the housekeeping over and done with. So these stamps, you can see, absolutely beautiful. I loved that Katie stamped them in blue as well, rather than the traditional black. I think that made such a difference. And then we've got the icons die set. These are all those smaller pieces, but of course they're much larger than you see on the packet. Now the largest die in this is 3.8 by 11.6 centimetres. I think it's this one, which is the largest. Now you're looking at this sort of size. That's 11.6 centimetres, very roughly. So you can imagine the size of the rest of them. Okay, so that's all of those. Now, as I said, we do have the other collection to look at. So let's go and chat to Katie again about the next Paper Discovery brand new collection. Katie, those cards that you made with the tulips from Amsterdam are absolutely stunning. Thank you for showing us how to put those together. I'm sure so many people are going to use that as inspiration for their own cards. But we have not one, but a second collection that's being launched on CraftStash today, and that is the Play On. Now, this is all about music, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is a whole music-themed collection. and it's got various elements. And again, it's got that fun stamp set, sentiment stamp set that can work with it so well. So when you're creating your music cards, you've got those fun sentiments that can go on them. So
Wonderful.
This was really good fun to work with. Something a little bit different for me, actually. I don't think I've ever worked with music products before.
Now, there is another collection that Olga did or designed a little while ago, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So I remember playing with that one, absolutely loved that one. I know there was a piano-shaped card in that collection that just flew. It was so popular. But this one's got some shaped cards as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, so this one's got some shaped cards. And actually, I've mixed some of the newer collection with the older collection as well, because they work really well together. So we'll start with the shaped card. So this has got, in this set, we've got a violin and a guitar-shaped card.
Lovely.
So there is your guitar. So this creates your shaped front.
Wow, I love that. Now, that wood grain, is that a wood grain effect paper you've used on the front? Yeah,
that's just a wood grain effect paper. So this one, it's a big card. It's an A5 size card, so it shows how big the dies are.
Yeah. Oh, wow, gorgeous.
So you can also do the actual card shaped if you like. So the whole card, you can die cut through the whole of your card and have the whole shape rather than just the front.
I love that. Now it looks like you've got dies for the strings there, but I suppose you could add twine or something.
Yeah, so it comes with the dies with the string, the string dies, but you could pop twine or string into that if you wanted to, couldn't you, as well?
That'd be lovely if you like that sort of thing.
Then we've got the violin.
Oh, that is pretty.
It's kind of delicate and classy.
I think it's a little more, I'm not saying that you only get female violinists, obviously, but a little more feminine, that one, I think.
And that works lovely with, this is the floral pattern papers that come with it. So the pattern papers are floral and music themed.
Gorgeous.
So that's what the background papers are. So they're really pretty. They work really well with them.
Beautiful.
So then we've got the music stand.
Yes, this intrigues me because I think you could use this for so much more.
So looking at this, if you trimmed off these parts here, you've just got a beautiful, pretty panel die as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you've got that music stand. The music stand comes with these elements here that kind of cut out like ripped pages, torn pages.
Lovely.
So then you can use your sentiment stamps or the stamps in the collection, stamp with. So that's really fun. And again, that's a big A5 size card. So it shows how big the dies are.
You do get a lot with Olga's dies, don't you? You get a lot of metal inside every pack.
Do you know what? You get so many. When I started with them, I was like, where do I begin? This is going to take me some time because to go through them all and use them all, they just kept coming. The more I opened the packs, the more they just kept coming.
It's great. It's great as a crafter. Yeah. If you're demonstrating the entire pack, it takes a while.
You just keep finding more every time you open the pack. A little bit more. So then we've got the drum and percussion die set. So you've got your maracas in there. So there's a shaker card with your maracas.
Love that. Shake your maracas.
You've got the little sentiment, the shake your maracas sentiment. So that works really well with it. You've got the triangle in that set, and all these sentiments are from the sentiment stamp set as well. So you've got the show must go on.
And those beautiful papers.
Yeah, that shows all the papers actually.
Gorgeous.
You've got your drum set in there, obviously.
Absolutely stunning. Now, I love that gold, the music notes in the background.
Yeah, so that's actually a stamp set as well. That's one of the stamp sets that comes with it.
I'm excited. I'll show everybody these products in just a moment.
And then you've got another maracas one.
God, I love that. And do you know what? They could be balloons or spoons or...
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything. They're just really good, a fun shape. I love it in those colours.
They're really good fun to work with. And then we have, so this is kind of showing off the papers quite well. So this is using the little guitar from the stamp set. This comes on the sentiment stamp set.
Beautiful.
Again, just stamped and cut out with those pretty papers.
They are gorgeous, gorgeous papers, aren't they?
Do you know what? They make them really kind of like soft and feminine. Obviously, if you use other papers, you'd get a completely different look with what you're using.
Absolutely. Yes, of course.
And then again, this is the guitar stamp.
And that is a very different look.
Completely different look. Same thing, different look. And then you've got that background again. You've got that stamp set with the notes in there.
Love that.
That's great for a background.
I love that. So was that just sort of some ink smooching or something?
Some ink smooched on the background and then all stamped on and embossed.
We'll look at that stamp in just a moment.
And then
there's more.
Yeah, just mixing and matching them. So then we've got this. But again, the background stamp, but I've only just used part of it this time with the musical notes. And then these notes come out of the guitar set, the guitar and violin set. You get some musical notes in there as well.
Ah, little additional extras there. And they're a good size, aren't they?
Yeah. So just using all like the little extras really that come with it. And then there's just a couple here that we've got, and these were just from the original collection. So there's the embossing folder.
Beautiful. That's so elegant.
That's the new sentiment set, but with the older, the original set that she did. So it just shows how they all work really well together. You know, you can start mixing and matching the...
I remember that. Is that a panel die?
A panel die, which actually it comes with that one as well, that piano.
Yes, I remember those. I loved those when they first came out.
They're lovely. They were really lovely, I thought. But they just work so well with the sentiments that you get in this new collection.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm now going to go through the products so everyone can see what you've used with those samples, and then we'll go to your video. So thank you so much for showing us through what you've made and for creating the videos for us. I'm sure people will come back time and time again for those. And hopefully we'll see you again very soon on CraftStash.
It's been really good fun.
We'll give you a rest for now. I know you've had a busy few days.
Yeah.
But thank you, Katie, and you take care. We'll see you again soon.
Yeah, you too.
Take care.
Speak to you. Bye.
And you. Bye-bye. So these are the products from Play On. These are the brand new music products. As we said, there was a previous music theme collection from Paper Discovery that is going to work so well with this, and you see how Katie mixes the two together with her cards, with her inspiration. Now again, I don't have the paper pad. I missed out. I don't get everything, you know. You can see that online. But a stamp set, one of the Play On stamp sets, is what you're going to be getting for free when you spend over £20 on this collection. Now, I think the main feature of this one has got to be the guitar and the violin card front here. Beautiful die set, really large as well. I mean, you're making A5 cards with this. If I just pull this out so you can see, hopefully, the size. There's a bit of glare on there, but the size of the main die, absolutely huge, really beautiful. So we've got the guitar and violin set there, and then we've also got the drum and percussion instruments die set. Now this is everything you could possibly imagine playing in the school band or orchestra. You've got lots and lots there. So you've got a drum set there, you've got the harmonica, you've got oh yes, you've got I can't think of all the names. Recorder there, maracas, the tambourine. That's what I was trying to think of, the tambourine. Triangle as well. Loads. Oh, it brings back so many memories. And then we've got these two. Now these, again, two large stamps. Adore these. Absolutely love these. So we've got the script paper there, and then we've also got the music notes. Now these are beautiful. I think just a section of these on their own are stunning. But the music paper, you could actually, if you're really clever, if you know your music and you've got a small pen, you could maybe write yourself a little tune on there or write a note. This would look beautiful on the front of an envelope, just as your address lines, wouldn't they, as well? So many ideas, things you can do with those. Then this one, so the music, the Play On music stand die set. Again, I need to take this out just to show you the sheer size of it. Look at that. It's absolutely huge and it's beautiful. I think there's so many ways you can use this, so many ways you can snip into it and just create a really pretty panel, even without the stand element there. And then you've got what looks like music paper or paper that you can stand on there if you want to. Could be a stand for a recipe book as well, maybe. People have them in the kitchen, don't they? Loads of ideas. And then Katie is so keen on these. So, excuse me. So these are the sentiment stamps. Now we've got Life is a Song, Sing It, Happy Birthday and All That Jazz, Don't Fret, Cello there, may all your drums come true, Looking Sharp on Your Special Day, Shake Your Maracas. I love the shaker card that Katie's done with Shake Your Maracas. You Are a Classic, The Show Must Go On, and You Make Me Quaver. These are brilliant, absolutely. Oh, just a note, of course. There's all sorts in there. You're going to have so much fun with these. Now, we need to take a look at this gorgeous video demonstration from Katie.
So we're going to start today by looking at the guitar and violin front cards. So these are really kind of fun cards. There's lots of different things you can do with these. So you can get your beautiful shaped cards, your shaped violin on the front or your guitar. You can also create a whole card. So I've actually pre-cut the card because I didn't want to use my big die cutting machine. But basically, just to show you, you just take a normal card blank, and then this die here, it's got the cutting edges around there, but there's no cutting edge on this. So when you pop it on the fold of your card, you don't actually get the cut line there. So that's what gives you the shape. Now, if you wanted to create an actual shaped card, you'd cut through both of the layers. So that's how you get that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by kind of adding some colour to this, and that's what's going to add the shape to it. So pop this one out the way. I'm just going to bring my machine in. And we'll die cut these from various different colours. So this is going to be the actual violin front. And what I'll do, I'll die cut it all, and I'll show you all the pieces and how we pop it all together. Pop all these pieces down and then we'll have a look at it afterwards. So then I've got my cream card here. So for my cream card, I'm going to pop these pieces down here. Take all of these pieces out. Grab a pokey tool to get rid of the little bits. There we go. Finally, we'll just do the strings. So we'll take some grey card for that. Let's put that one out. Slightly so you can see. There we go. So finally, I'm going to leave the strings in the die if possible for a second. It'll help me position them in a minute. So let's just move this one out of the way. Straighten up here a little bit. So now we've got our card front. Now, obviously, I don't want the white to be showing through on the card front, so I've taken these lovely papers. So these are the lovely A5 papers that you get in the Play On collection. So you get lots of different patterns. So you get 6 different papers, 4 of each of design. They're so pretty and the colours are so vibrant. You've got a mix of florals in there and music notes, but they all just work so lovely together. Then we'll take this piece here. So this is going to be our front now. So we'll pop that one down. So just following that line. There we go. We'll just trim off a little excess bit that we've got there. Just get rid of that bit. There we go. So then we want to kind of decorate it. So you've got all your little pieces here. And this is what starts to bring it to life. I'll add this bit on. So if you're not sure what to do, if you look at the front of the die packaging, it actually shows you where all these pieces go, so it makes it much easier for you. Take that bit down. We've got a little Move that one over slightly. We've got our little corner section there. I've done that one slightly too close. I don't know if I can move it now. Yeah, there we go. Cover that glue with the corner section. And then this part just sits above that section we've just stuck down. There we go. So to add the strings, as I said, I've left the strings in the die because it just makes it easier. So I'm just going to pop one of those out at a time. Make sure I've got the end one there. There we go. And I know I'm getting them all in the right place. A small amount of glue. Just pop that in the end. So that's going to be coming from the top. There we go. So you can see it all coming together now. So then I'll start with the other end piece and make sure they all fit in. Last one. That's our strings attached. Then we've got this little decorative piece here to pop in as well. I'll stick that one on. That piece just goes there. So then what I've done, just die cut a circle, a scallop circle, and I've just stamped the You Are a Classic from the A5 sentiment stamp set. So we'll just pop that one on. We'll use some 3D foam pads for that to give it some dimension. You've kind of got really quick cards for those music lovers. And of course, if you wanted to make it more masculine, you'd use more of the music papers than the floral papers. I think they're so pretty, those papers. So that's that one. So now we'll have a look at the stamp set. And again, I'm using the papers. Let me just put my pieces down here. So I'm going to use the A5 centimetre stamp again. And this time I'm going to stamp the guitar. So I'll put that one. So this is a really cute little image. You can use this one lots. It doesn't matter where I put it because I'm not actually going to leave it on there. I'm going to cut around it. So I'm just going to use some Memento ink because I'm going to use some alcohol and markers to colour it. Pop that one down. So that's a guitar. So we'll move that one out of the way for a second. And then I'm also going to use, I'll just show you some of these actually. So these are such a fun sentence. I think they really finish off the card. So I'm going to use the Just a Note. But you've got Life is a Song, Sing It, Happy Birthday and all that jazz. Looking sharp on your special day. They're all music themed sentiments. So they just finish off the projects absolutely perfectly. So I'm going to pop that Just a Note on there. So I'm going to use my VersaFine ink there because I want this as a sentiment. Obviously I'm not colouring it or anything. I want it to be really kind of vivid when I stamp it. Pop that to the side. So we'll move this one out of the way. And then let's take all our little pieces. So what have we got here? So basically, let's work on the white bit first. So I've trimmed a piece of pattern paper. So again, this is from the patterned paper pack that you get in the set. We'll pop that one down. So I've kind of chosen where I've cut with these because I've also got some circles here. So I've die cut 3 circles, but I've chosen at what part I've die cut into the papers. so that some of you can really see the floral elements on some and the music notes on others. It's a really good way to just use up your little bits and pieces, just scraps of paper if you like. So I'm just going to ink around those because obviously we're putting it on white and I want them to really show up when I put them on the white. So we'll just add a little bit. So I'm using tea dye for this. Just go around the edges there. Out where they're going to go. So one of them I'm going to put flat and then the other two I'm going to have kind of coming out. So have that one like that. So let's stick these down and then we can colour in the guitar. These will be all dry by the time we do. So I'm going to use some 3D foam pads for the other two to add some dimension. That one there. There, so that's our card base. So now we need to add on the guitar. So I'm just using a couple of alcohol markers here. So I've got the I'm going to do the lighter colour first. So we'll just go around the whole thing in this lighter colour. So I'm not going to spend ages colouring it in. I'm just literally going to add some colour to it. And it's quite an easy shape to trim around as well, because sometimes you think, oh, how am I going to cut around that? But this one's quite easy to trim around. So add some colour here. And just to give it some definition, I'm going to go in with the darker shade now and just go around the edges, and we'll do these little detailed parts. And then we'll blend all this together anyway. So we'll go back over now with the lighter part and the main body of the guitar. Just make sure that part there is really blended in. So I'm going to get some teeny weeny scissors and we're just going to trim around that now. So I'm just going to fussy cut around this. As I say, it's quite an easy shape to cut around. It's not so just some quick kind of simple cards to make. Great for last minute cards, or you know, for those music lovers. Just that last little bit there. There we go. Move all that out the way. So I'm going to take some twine. So I've just got some twine here. Just realised actually, glue gun. That one's not on. Pop that one on a second, just let that warm up. So for the string, I'm just kind of going to wrap that around and create a nice kind of circle. It's probably a little bit too much there actually. Let's trim some of that off. Like that. So we'll stick on a sentiment while waiting for the hot glue to dry. So I've got my Just a Note sentiment that we stamped just now. So again, I'm just going to ink around the edges of that one. We'll use some 3D tape again to add that one on. Pop that across the circle go there. So it's probably not even warmed up yet. Actually, we'll stick on some, just make sure the light's on. Yeah, the light's on. So it is warming up, it's doing something. While we're waiting, we'll stick some gems on. Just put some gems randomly. I'm not sure this is going to be. So I'm going to get rid of a bit of that actually. Don't want it too thick because I want the guitar to sit flat. Just waiting for that. Let's pop that to side actually. So let's just have another look at the sentiment stamps while we're waiting for it to warm up. I just want to show you these. They're so fun. Pop them on the white, you can see them better. So these to me are good sentiment finishes off a card. So if you've got kind of a themed card like music or something, you want sentiments that work with it. These are really clever. So you've got the Here Comes Trouble, the Show Must Go On, cello there, Don't Fret, May All Your Drums Come True, Looking Sharp on Your Special Day, Shake Your Maracas, You're a Classic, You Make Me Quaver, Just a Note, Happy Birthday and all that jazz. So they're just fun centimetres, and obviously centimetres or sentiments? They're fun sentiments, not centimetres. And then you've got your little illustrations there that you can use as well. There's some really fun things you can do with that. I think the sentiments makes good even standalone cards with just a little guitar or something on it. There we go. So it's not quite lighted, but it'll be enough for me to show you what to do. So I'm just going to pop my twine down. Now I'll stick that a little bit more, but obviously I've not really got any hot glue to work with. In fact, I've got cold glue. And then we'll just use 3D pad here. We'll pop a little guitar on there. So I've got some, I'm losing my words today. I've got some craft card here. So we're just going to matinee. That craft card works really well with it, with the vintagey kind of colours in these papers. It really sets it off. And then we can pop that onto our card blank. There we go. And you can make lots of these if you wanted, because they're just like little note cards. You can make lots of these in different colours of the papers if you wanted to. I just think they're fun, they're pretty, they're quick and simple to make. And you've got those beautiful papers there and just the fun sentiments.
So that's everything for today's live. We've got 2 brand new collections for you. We've got 2 free gifts when you spend over £20 on each of the collections. You're going to have so much fun with these. Don't forget, everybody, you need to be commenting. You've got until tomorrow to comment which of the 2 collections, now you've really seen them both, which is your favourite. We will pick a winner to win a selection of the brand new products and send those out to you. We will contact you via YouTube. If you're commenting on YouTube, we'll tag you so you know you've won, and we will try and contact you via Facebook message as well, but we will tag you there in the comments too. So don't worry, you won't miss out if you have won. You'll be notified. Have a lovely, lovely Wednesday evening, everybody. Enjoy what's left of it anyway. I will be back on Friday. Now, I've got a fantastic live at 12:30 with Claire Rowlands. She is, of course, bringing us brand new Daisy May. Now, we're looking at an Easter theme. I can't wait for that. More giveaways and deals, of course. So join me then, 12:30 with Claire, here on CraftStash. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.